Hi, I'm LDS in Medium, and thank you so much for tuning in today. I want to try to bring religion and spirituality closer together, and this is what this pod is all about. I will talk about my own thoughts and feelings as I am both LDS and have spiritual gifts, something that I've had my whole life, but I always thought that it was hard to combine these gifts with my religion. This has torn me into two directions, and I have talked to many people who feel the same way. I can't choose not to have my spiritual gifts, but I can choose how I use them. And I always want to use them for good and to help others. I believe my heavenly parents gave them to me for a reason. So, this is me. Join my quest for knowledge. If you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you know that I've been on a bit of an identity quest. I've been asking myself some pretty big questions. Who am I? What parts of me are truly mine? Which parts have I picked up from other people, and which versions of myself am I finally ready to let go of? Every time I think I've figured out another piece of the puzzle, life shows me another one. This week, that piece happened to be my wardrobe. Now, that probably sounds a little superficial at first. After all, they're just clothes, right? That's what I thought too. Until I realized they were telling a story I didn't even know I was still living. One thing I realized over the past few months is that I don't actually own many clothes that truly feels like mine. I have 4 closets full of clothes. The problem isn't that I don't have enough to wear. The problem is that when I open those closets, I don't really see myself. My whole life I've worn hand-me-downs. Clothes from my aunt, my cousins, friends, anyone who was cleaning out their wardrobe. As an adult, I ended up with a wardrobe full of branded clothes that my ex bought for me. I have clothes that belonged to my mom, clothes from my neighbor who passed away, and bags of clothes from a coworker whenever she cleans out her closet. I've always been grateful for every single piece, but gratitude and authenticity aren't always the same thing. Those clothes kept me clothed. They just never really made me feel like me. The colors weren't what I would have chosen. The styles weren't really my styles. And some didn't flatter my curvy body in a way that made me feel comfortable or confident. And I started wondering, how many other things in my life have I accepted simply because they were available? How many things have I carried because someone else gave them to me? I don't think this is only about clothes. I think it's about identity. For a long time, money stopped me from buying clothes for myself. If there was extra money, it went to the kids. That felt natural. It felt like the right thing to do. I could always wait. But recently, I felt this little pull inside that kept saying, "It's your turn now." I checked my investments and found a few $100s. It wasn't a fortune, but it was enough to begin. So instead of asking, what do I need? I started asking a different question. What feels like me? That question changed everything. I wasn't shopping because I wanted more clothes. I was shopping because I wanted my outside to finally reflect the person I've become on the inside. I've spent years working on myself, healing, learning, growing, finding peace, becoming someone I genuinely enjoy spending time with. I like who I am today, but my wardrobe was still reflecting an older version of me. So, I've started buying a few pieces here and there. And for the first time in a very long time, I found myself getting dressed and thinking, yes, this feels right. This feels like me. Today my neighbor complimented my outfit. And while that was lovely to hear, what mattered even more was that I agreed. I like it too. That may sound like such a small thing, but sometimes the smallest things tell us the biggest truths. I didn't figure it out all by myself though. A while ago I asked ChatGPT to create an image of me based on everything we've talked about over the years. The picture it created honestly took my breath away. There was this woman with a messy bun, comfortable clothes, and a calm, grounded energy, and something about her simply felt like me. not because she looked exactly like me, but because she captured the essence of who I feel I'm becoming. That image inspired me more than I expected. It reminded me that my style doesn't have to impress anyone. It just has to feel authentic. I've realized something important though through this whole identity journey. Finding yourself isn't usually a huge breakthrough. It's hundreds of tiny moments. It's choosing differently, thinking differently, speaking differently, setting healthier boundaries, being kinder to yourself, buying the sweater you actually love instead of the one that's simply good enough. Every little choice says, this is who I am. And eventually, those little choices become your life. So during my 2 weeks of vacation that I have left, I'm going to clean out my closets. Anything that doesn't feel like me, it's leaving. Not because it's bad, not because someone else wouldn't love it, but because it has finished serving its purpose in my life. I'm done holding on to things simply because they're okay. I don't want okay anymore. I want joyful, comfortable, authentic, me. I'm doing this for the little girl who always wore hand-me-downs. I'm doing it for the wife and mother who spent years putting everyone else first. And I'm doing it for the woman I am today, who slowly, lovingly, and intentionally is reclaiming herself. Every episode of this podcast feels like another puzzle piece. Sometimes it's about healing, sometimes it's about motherhood, sometimes it's about faith, and sometimes it's about fear. And today, it turns out one of the missing pieces was hanging in my closet all this time. So, I'll leave you with this. Is there something in your life that you're holding on to simply because it's always been there? Does it still reflect who you are today? Or is it reflecting someone you've already outgrown? Maybe this week is your week to let go of one thing that no longer fits the person you're becoming. Because we don't have to keep wearing old identities just because they still fit. Until next time, be the light, share the light, spread the light, shine. This is my journey. Thank you so much for keeping me company today. Please download, like, share, and subscribe, and help spread the light and spread the word to expand our community. Let's bring more love, peace, and unity to this world. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. Always be grateful, kind, and loving. Be brave and remember to step out of your comfort zone and smile. If you support us on Patreon, you will get access to our meditations and extra materials so you can download them as MP3. Also, we now have a Facebook group, which you can access from our Facebook community. Please answer the questions as you apply to participate. It will be a safe haven where we can keep discussing religion and spirituality, our spiritual gifts, and self-development. Remember, one person can make a difference, but together we can change the world.